Hey guys, so today let's talk a little bit about character arc. And before we get started with the arc and how to set up an arc for a character, there is again something that you need to focus on before thinking of the arc, or at least after you have thought about, what where the character is going to start and where the arc of this character is going to end. There is something that's called the inciting incident, which truly is challenging the static world of the character. So to speak, you force the character with this inciting incident to take action, to get active. About what? Well, and that's the main thing, about the lie. So, the lie is something that is connected to the wound of the character. So a wound is something that has been, ripped open at probably a very early age, maybe even a trauma, something like that. Something that this character keeps under the rug the whole time. And something also that he has or she has developed certain abilities to, not face this lie. So the static world where you start from, or where this character starts from, is really, the most comfortable place this character can reach within this lie. So it's really, this is the word based on the character's lie. Okay, so enough of the theoretical mumbo jumbo. Let's have an example to make you understand how to set up something like this. So how to set up a static world, and then based on that, the change within the character, and which then results in the arc. Let's have a character that has been all by himself, all his childhood years, maybe even up to his teenage years, always home alone, no one there to really take care of him. So he basically had to deal with life all by himself. And this is probably due to the fact that his parents, weren't around. Either he was living with, a single mom or a single dad, and this single parent, basically had to, take care of the financial aspect of life. So he or she would be working the whole time, and the kid would be alone at home most of the time. So that's the backstory of it. The wound then definitely is that this kid, now a grown-up, probably has, made peace with all of that to some extent. Peace is not the right word, but try to close that wound of always being alone by denying himself, to depend on other people or to get social with other people, because he doesn't want to get hurt. And so he's in a state where he basically settled on being alone. And this is, then where the actual story starts. So the static world then would probably be this character living somewhere rural, somewhere outside of society, maybe up on the mountain in some kind of wooden cabin or whatever, and not having to face society at all. So this character basically settled on being alone and accepts that as his fate, and sort of lives exactly that lie in the way that, that character is not part of society anymore and really denies himself to be part of the society. So then the inciting incident would happen, And the inciting incident, as we know, is something that really forces the character to deal with this lie, with what he's been lying to himself all along. So in order to make that happen, the inciting incident needs to be something that challenges the character at this particular thing. So it could be that this character is then forced to make his way back to society again. Something that he never wanted. So maybe it's due to the fact that this character gets a message, which would definitely be the inciting incident, that his parents, died. And he now has to take care of, the burial. So this way, this character is not only faced to leave or forced to leave his, sacred haven place where he could be able to, he was able to live the lie. He now has to do two things. He has to, go back down to society to be, active about it. And he also has to face the drama that will, or the ripping of the wound, because, having to deal with the parent's death will then bring up, the lie and challenge the lie within himself. So he has to not only bury his parents, he has to, come to peace or with his feelings again. So in order to make that happen, he will have to face the lie. And the lie is that he is not really comfortable being alone. And that he is really struggling to be alone. But he accepted that. And now he has to go back, face, the death of his parents. And maybe he will find through the course of the movie or the novel or whatever that is, he will find that he was lying to himself all along. And now the movie or the screenplay or whatever is really about his struggle, his inner struggle, and therefore the arc will then be that not accepting it, then come to realize what his lie is, then denying the lie, and ultimately having to face the lie to an extent where this character really understood what has been happening to him all along, and now takes action to go actively about it. And it's always something that within the character is always something that is a character arc is most likely something from fear to bravery. So the actual fear is always having to face something that is uncomfortable, something that challenges you. And the brave thing is to be active about it. So we all know this from our own lives. The reason why we try to settle on something that is most comfortable but will probably not be good for us in the long run is basically because we're having doubts and we have fear in ourselves. That's why we don't start things unless we're forced to. And that's really what you should be doing with a character altogether. You should force this character to take action. And, come to think of that, maybe you should also, force yourself a little more to take action in your own life. I know it's hard. It's hard for me as well. But only if you challenge yourself to do new things and to go out there and, set yourself up for failure, only then something really grand will happen in your life. That's a fact. So I'll leave you with that. Hope you like it. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe if you like what you've seen, and see you in the next video.